A few years ago, I did a series on my YouTube channel of interesting facts from every episode of The Office from every season. And ever since then, I've been wanting, and after a 2-year break, I thought, what the hell, let's do this again. So the show I'm doing interesting facts on every episode from every season now is Married with Children. Married with Children is a sitcom that follows the Bundy family. No relation to Ted Bundy. Better, but still horrible. Married with Children ran on the Fox network for 10 years between 1987 to 1997 for a grand total of 11 seasons. Like my Office series, every fact I'll be getting from every episode comes from the Wiki page itself. So this might not be 100% accurate, but let's just hope. But before we get started, I need your help. The next show I decided to cover on my channel is The Golden Girls, but I have two options. Lately, I've been reading Golden Girls: An Unauthorized Look Behind the Lanai by Jim Gallucci, and I honestly recommend this if you love the show. After starting to read this, I thought it'd be cool to do a 4-part series on 100 interesting facts I learned from this book. Now, will I get 100? I do not know, but I'm aiming for 100. This is where you guys come in. Should I do a 4-part series on the 100 things I learned from the Golden Girls Forever and Unauthorized Look Behind the Lanai book? Or a 7-part interesting facts from each episode of the Golden Girls series? Go to my community tab or comment to vote. Now let's look at interesting facts from every episode from Married with Children Season 5. The actor who plays Motorist 1 and Will Follow the Sun, Frank Lloyd, is the actor who plays Al's friend Norris. Pamela Anderson, who plays Yvette and Al with Kelly, became huge when she became Lisa, the Tool-Time Girl on the ABC sitcom Home Improvement. Her replacement, Debbie Dunning, who played the second Tool-Time Girl, Heidi, plays Rochelle 4 episodes later, and Kelly bounces back. The actress who plays Judge Muffy Carter and Su Casa His Casa, Dr. Joyce Brothers, is a psychologist and columnist who brought psychology into the mainstream for the American public through her advice columns and television appearances. Sven's look in The Unnatural is modeled after wrestler Hulk Hogan. Hogan's adversary, King Kong Bundy, is who the Bundys are named after. The dance show is parodied on the sketch show The Rerun Show on NBC. Called Married with Chimps, the sketch had anthropomorphic chimps who resembled the chimps from the Planet of the Apes playing the roles. But actor David Faustino appeared in the sketch as Pete, the husband of the man Peggy went dancing with. The car and the car fair room in Proda and Kelly Bounces Back is a reference to Married with Children art director Richard Improda. Improda was the art director on the series from 1989 until the series' conclusion in 1997. Debbie Lee Carrington, who plays one of the aliens in Married with Aliens, played Thumbelina in the 1990 film Total Recall, which was released 5 months before the airing of this episode. Carrington's co-star who played Tony in Total Recall, Dean Norris, played Rodent, one of Al's teammates, in Dud Bowl 4 seasons later. Wabbit's season mirrors the 1980 comedy Caddyshack. Both Al and Carl Speckler, played by Bill Murray, chase an animal who is doing damage to the yard they take care of while being unstable, Al's pest being a rabbit while Carl's is a gopher. They both try to kill their pests with a rifle and a water hose. The only difference here is that Carl uses a high-pressured hose, and a problem-causing explosion doesn't kill the pest. Al's response to Kelly when she tells him the neighborhood women find him attractive and do you think I'm sexy, if loving me is wrong, they don't want to be right, is a reference to Luther Ingram's 1972 song, If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. The two men on the elevator that comment on Al's body odor when he goes to see Kelly in One Down, Two to Go are Ron Levitt and Michael G. Moy, the creators of Married with Children. Kelly lies to Al and Baby Makes Money that she learned how to use a pregnancy test from the professor from the 60s sitcom Gilligan's Island. The actress who plays Ginger, one of the castaways on that show, Tina Louise, played Miss Beck 5 episodes earlier in Kelly Bounces Back. In Married with Who through the rest of Season 5, Jefferson actor Ted McGinley was credited as a special guest star due to the producers not being sure if he would work in the show, and they could easily write him out if he didn't. He became a series regular starting with Season 6. The duck walk, the dance move Al does after revealing he talked to Harry about meter maid shoes in The Godfather, was made popular by musician Chuck Berry. Luku's Barking was the first of 3 episodes in which Buck is voiced by Cheech Marin, the other 2 being Change for a Buck and Assault and Batteries, both from Season 8. In A Man's Castle, the picture of Peggy in the bathroom changes into the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is a part of the logo for the popular FX drama action series Sons of Anarchy, which features Peggy actress Sadie Segal as Gemma Teller Morrow. The scene of Al getting fired from his security job in All Night Security Dude parallels 1960s Western series Branded. Branded follows a U.S. Army cavalry captain named Jason McCord being dishonorably discharged after being claimed to be a coward. The same song plays in both scenes, and Al gets the buttons ripped off of his shirt in the same place that Jason does. Al's nightstick being broken in half as a nod to Jason's sword being broken in half. The actor who plays Vinny Verducci in Oldies But Youngins, the 100th episode, Top of the Heap, and next season's Kelly Does Hollywood Part 1 is played by Matt LeBlanc, who is best known for playing Joey Tribbiani for 10 seasons on the NBC sitcom Friends. Married with Children would parody it 5 seasons later in Enemies. Christina Applegate would appear in Friends as Jennifer Aniston's Rachel's older sister Amy. The Osbournes played the Bundys in a parody of Weenie Tot Lovers and Other Strangers on the rerun show. Eric Estrada, best known for the series Chips, played Officer Dan in the sketch. January and April Hubbard, 2 of the kids that Kelly watches in Kids What Are You Gonna Do, are played by Matt and Samantha Levitt, kids of series creator Ron Levitt. When Charlie decides to kiss Catherine in Top of the Heap, he recalls being a Marine. The actor who plays him, Joseph Bologna, did actually serve in the Marine Corps, doing a tour of duty after finishing college. The last half of You Better Shop Around Part 1 takes place on the hottest day of the year according to Marcy. The hottest day of the year for Chicago in 1991 was August 2nd, with a temperature of 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius. In You Better Shop Around Part 2, Jerry Mathers, who played Beaver in the 1950s and 60s sitcom Leave It to Beaver, gets mistaken for playing Opie in the 1960s sitcom The Andy Griffith Show. Ron Howard, who played Opie, does not appear in the series, although his family does. His mother, Jean Spiegel Howard, appeared in Assault and Batteries as the woman who cuts in front of Al in the line at the grocery store. Business Sucks as Sylvia, the woman who sits next to Peggy on the train. And Bingo as her Gamo as Seal. And in Enemies as Claire. His father, Rance, appeared in Enemies alongside his wife as Edwin, and in How to Marry a Moron as the Reverend. And his brother Clint appeared in Bingo as her Gamo as Mullen. In Route 666 Part 1, Peggy asks if they can stop at the lingerie store Fredericks of Hollywood. During a 1989 interview, Katie Segal mentioned that Fredericks had a Peggy Bundy bra on display. The woman from Florida with the pink sun visor and black dress Yetta in Route 666 Part 2 is played by Sharon Levitt, the then wife of Married with Children co-creator Ron Levitt. In Buck the Stud, while having Buck locked in the basement to try to get him sexually active to go mate with Lady the champion dog, Al mentions Nancy Reagan to no response from Buck. Al then turns to Peggy and says that he doesn't believe the Sinatra story. He is referring to Frank Sinatra claiming he had an affair with Nancy Reagan in the White House during her husband Ronald Reagan's time as president. The claim came from Nancy's 1991 book Nancy Reagan, the Unauthorized Biography by Kitty Kelly.